This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, a warning you need to hear. A crucial part of your car is becoming a popular target for thieves. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. An East Side man learned that the hard way and almost lost out on more than his method of transportation.
RTV6's Graham Hunter shows you how to avoid becoming a target of catalytic converter thefts.
Michael Sparks tells me he thinks he was targeted because he has a higher profile vehicle that made it easier for crooks to climb underneath and steal his catalytic converter. He's hoping someone out there saw something that'll help bring these crooks to justice.
I believe a collective group of people will actually work together to catch these guys.
That's why Sparks is sharing his story.
As soon as I turned it over, because this has happened to us before, I knew immediately they had taken a catalytic converter.
His Honda Element is in the shop for work that will be tough to pay for.
The repair on the car is $800. I make $10 an hour. That's 80 hours that I worked. 80 hours away from my family, 80 hours away from my child.
$800 he could have spent on his daughter Chloe. Sparks was taking her to a doctor's appointment. She has multiple sclerosis.
We have to schedule those 1 year in advance. My daughter's sickness is very serious. Had we missed it, we would have, it would have been detrimental to her health.
It's not an uncommon crime in Indianapolis. The National Insurance Crime Bureau tracks catalytic converter theft nationwide. From 2008 to 2015, Indianapolis had the 5th highest number of cases in the country.
It's incredibly loud. It's, like I said, about 3 times as loud as if your muffler fell off your car.
Catalytic converters contain precious metals like platinum, with roughly 3 to 7 grams in each one. The current price of platinum is around $27 a gram. Sparks has a message for businesses buying the metal from criminals.
It all starts with you guys. You guys are the ones that are creating this demand, the reason why these thieves will go out and do this.
IMPD doesn't track catalytic converter thefts. A spokesman says they're unaware of any increase of this type of crime.
They know what they're doing, and they're getting rich off of it at the expense of the citizens of Irvington and the rest of the city.
The National Institute Crime Bureau recommends etching your vehicle identification number into your catalytic converter and says aftermarket theft deterrent systems can make stealing them more difficult.
Money's one thing, but going around, I don't think these people realize what they're doing to people's lives.
As for Sparks and his daughter, they made the doctor's appointment, and what started out as an awful day,
it was the best news I've got in my entire life.
Got better at Chloe's follow-up appointment to learn how she was responding to an experimental drug to treat her MS.
And it's working. The disease has been halted. So, $800, who cares?
Reporting from the East Side, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Thank you, Graham. Now, Sparks is hoping someone with clear surveillance video from the night the catalytic converter was stolen will come forward. It was stolen last Wednesday night or early Thursday morning on Julian Avenue, just east of Emerson Avenue on the east side.
New at 11, the City County Council tackled 2 controversial issues tonight. One will impact scooters. The other is meant to help people who do not have easy access to grocery stores. The council approved $580,000 in funding to test strategies to address food insecurity. Under the program, as many as 500 families will be eligible for free or low-cost Lyft rides to and from grocery stores. Several neighbors who live in food deserts attended that meeting, and they wanted long-term solutions.
This is a test to see if we can actually put something viable together and to make it a solution that will last, not just a temporary or a Band-Aid. We need actual grocery options that are going to actually be sustainable.
Supporters say this is just the beginning of a process to come up with long-term solutions to food deserts. The bill will also help expand food delivery service options and create a mobile market that will travel to neighborhoods on a regular schedule. And the council passed a proposal amending code enforcement for electric scooters. Under the change, anyone riding a scooter on a sidewalk or greenway can be fined $20. Back in May, the city authorized 2 additional scooter companies to operate in Indianapolis, bringing the total number to 4.
Now to the Storm Team 6 forecast. As you can see from our tower camera, it's dry right now in downtown Indy, but Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking a return of rain. Kevin.
much needed rain, and that's mainly for tomorrow. We'll get into a little bit of that on Wednesday as well. But while you sleep tonight, just some scattered showers. Definitely humid, and temperatures don't cool off a whole lot. They'll stay in the 70s. Scan of radar confirms we're quiet now. Most intense rain has been in southeast Indiana. There are a few showers near Versailles, sliding towards Cincinnati, where they had 2 to 3 inches of rain this afternoon. Just to show you how much moisture the air is holding. 80 in Muncie. Temperature in Indy is at 77. Will only cool about 5 degrees from where we're at now. During the day tomorrow, scattered showers in the morning. Here's your most likely time in the afternoon for rain and thunderstorms, a few with heavy rainfall. We'll focus on what happens after the rain, and it'll stick around a while. That's coming up.
I've called the health department. I've made multiple complaints. I haven't even gotten a phone call back. When I reached out to you, you contacted me immediately.
RTV6 is getting results for an Indianapolis woman less than 2 weeks after she reached out for help. The woman, who does not want to be identified, was dealing with broken air conditioning at her apartment in the Greenway complex on the east side. The problem was about more than just discomfort. It made it hard for her son to breathe in the 90-degree heat because he has asthma. This weekend, the tenant told us the complex gave her a temporary AC unit until her central air is fixed. If you have a problem and feel like you have nowhere else to turn, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Don't be a selfish driver. That's the message from state police after this crash on I-465 that killed a woman and her 18-month-old twins. Sunday's wreck near the Keystone Avenue exit also injured 7 other people. Investigators believe a semi-driver was going too fast and slammed into a stopped traffic, causing a chain reaction. This happened in a construction zone. There are several interstate construction projects going on around Marion County, and police say there is always a human element in crashes.
Construction zones are necessary, and they're not always convenient. But if people would just pay attention, I can tell you they're very well designed. They're very well thought out, and the purpose of a construction zone is to repair the road. If everyone would pay attention, it would be much safer.
The semi-driver, Bruce Pollard, is preliminarily charged with reckless homicide and criminal recklessness causing injury. Call 6 Investigates learned Pollard received a ticket last summer in Terre Haute for failing to move over for an emergency vehicle. Call 6 also looked into the trucking company he works for. Weston Transportation is based in North Kansas City, Missouri. Records show they've been cited 20 times in the last 2 years for unsafe driving, including following too close, speeding, and lane restriction violations. It's common for trucking companies to have violations. Now, Weston has not received any critical violations in the last 2 years and is in satisfactory standing with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
The cause of a massive fire that destroyed or damaged 5 homes in Tippecanoe County is still under investigation at this hour. The State Fire Marshal's office is involved in this investigation. We've been bringing you the latest on the case since Friday afternoon after the fire started in a neighborhood southwest of Sagamore Parkway and State Road 52. It took about 90 minutes to get the fire under control. No one was hurt. And a park honoring Abby Williams and Libby German will get $100,000 in funds thanks to the community. The families say they have raised the $50,000 needed to get a matching grant from the state. The money will pay for an amphitheater at the park. Fundraising continues to finish softball fields, playgrounds, and picnic shelters. It has been more than 2 years since the girls were killed on a trail near Delphi.
Tomorrow, Metro Police will answer questions about new body cameras. This week, the department is kicking off a body cam pilot program. All officers and supervisors who work middle shifts in the Northeast and Southeast districts will wear the cameras for 45 days. IMPD says those are the busiest shifts in the largest districts. A South Bend police officer who shot and killed a black man last month is resigning. Sergeant Ryan O'Neill stepped down effective today. Police say Eric Logan was armed with a knife when O'Neill shot him while investigating a car burglary. The shooting prompted South Bend Mayor and presidential hopeful Pete Buttigieg to leave the campaign trail several times over the past few weeks.
Paying a parking ticket in Muncie could help animals in need. The police department is offering to let people pay off their parking tickets with supplies for cats and kittens at the Muncie Animal Care and Services. You can take the supplies to the Muncie Police Chief's office or directly to the shelter at 901 West Reagan Road. If you donate at the shelter, they'll give you a voucher that you'll take to the Chief's office. And many families could use help with school supplies this back-to-school season. If you would like to donate, RTV6 will be collecting classroom items this week. Our annual school supply drive is Thursday on Monument Circle from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's a specific need for spiral notebooks, loose leaf paper, pens, pencils, and pocket folders.
Shark Tank will hear your brilliant ideas in just hours. RTV6 is helping you prepare. First, a booming business explains how the community is playing a big role in its growth.
So there's a couple tips I tell all entrepreneurs to stand out.
And hear those inside tips from a Shark Tank producer. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
And it should be.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
President Trump is ramping up attacks against 4 Democratic congresswomen of color, and the women are responding. ABC's Megan Terizian is in Washington with the latest.
The president defending what many are calling racist tweets about 4 congresswomen.
These are people that if they don't like it here, they can leave.
The president saying the congresswomen, all women of color, originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe. Adding, why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came?
They hate our country. They hate it, I think, with a passion.
The congresswomen come from Cincinnati, Detroit, and New York City. One of the group, Representative Ilhan Omar, a Somali refugee, was born outside of the U.S. She fled civil war as a child, was granted asylum, and is now an American citizen. Today, the president denied his tweets were racist.
Does it concern you that many people saw that tweet as racist and that white nationalist groups are finding common cause with you on that point?
It doesn't concern me because many people agree with me.
The 4 congresswomen at the center of the controversy responding.
We cannot, we will not be silenced.
This is the agenda of white nationalists. Whether it is happening in chat rooms or it's happening on national TV, and now it's reached the White House garden.
We don't leave the things that we love. And when we love this country, what that means is that we propose the solutions to fix it.
So far, only a handful of Republicans coming forward to denounce the president's tweets. The party's only African-American senator, Tim Scott, calling them unacceptable personal attacks and racially offensive language.
Republican leadership remains silent. Meantime, Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are calling for congressional votes condemning the president. Megan Terizian, ABC News, Washington.
More than 600 members of the Indiana National Guard are taking over a mission in the Middle East. During a ceremony today, soldiers with the 38th Infantry Division assumed authority of the Army's Task Force Spartan. They're in charge of more than 10,000 U.S. service members in the Gulf region. The commanding general says the mission involves partnering with host nations, learning from other militaries, and performing side by side.
Columbus police are asking for help identifying 2 suspects in an armed robbery at a cell phone store. Police say the men robbed the Verizon Wireless store on Jonathan Moore Pike off of State Road 46 just before 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Investigators released surveillance images of these suspects. One of them is wearing a distinct shirt with the flag of the Bahamas on it. If you have info, call Columbus Police at 812-376-2600.
Shark Tank producers will be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in just hours. In honor of tomorrow morning's open casting call, the founders of a growing company are sharing some of their keys to success. And Amanda, it's been 1 year since you first spoke to the owners of Circle City Kombucha.
Yes, Mark, and what a difference a year makes. The beverage line has grown so much. The company moved out of its original headquarters in the Irvington area and into a downtown location that's 8 times bigger. And that's not all that's changed. When I first met Skylar Williams and Matt Whiteside last year, their company had 2 full-time employees. Now it has 10 and 20 part-time staff members. The business also changed its branding, going from Circle City Kombucha to just Circle now. If you're not familiar with kombucha, it's a sweetened tea drink marketed for its health benefits. And like many other local entrepreneurs, Skylar and Matt say connecting to the community and staying true to their passion plays a big role in their success.
And what we realize is that the fact we're from Indianapolis is critical, and Circle City has always been a key part of our identity. But a lot of the feedback we heard from our customers was the reason they actually really enjoyed the product is it's the perfectly balanced beverage. It tastes amazing. It's got the health benefits of probiotics and other, low sugar things like that. And we also do a lot to give back to our community and support the environment.
Circle plans to expand its line of products, add retail space, and possibly a tasting room.
And as we mentioned, the Shark Tank open call is tomorrow. We spoke to a Noblesville woman who plans to be there. Darla Hall owns a company called Witty Publications. It creates licensed activity books with sports themes. Hall created more than 200 books for teams like the Pacers, Colts, and the Dallas Mavericks.
What a great opportunity for people in Indianapolis and entrepreneurs to have Shark Tank come to Indy. I want to do Shark Tank because the value that the sharks provide are relationships, wisdom, and really just strategy and overall relationships. They have so many people behind them, and the exposure is going to be amazing.
This is Shark Tank's final casting call of the season. RTV6 asked a producer of the show, how can people stand out?
There's a lot of tips that we give entrepreneurs who want to make it to the next round. We tell them to know your numbers first and foremost, because you'll get grilled by the sharks for those. To have a lot of energy, because if you're not excited about what you're pitching, then how is anyone else supposed to? And the third one is to definitely have a lot of passion.
Now, here's what you need to know about the Shark Tank event. You cannot get on the grounds at Indianapolis Motor Speedway until 6 a.m. Go through Gate 2 on 16th Street and park in the Media Center gravel lot. The event starts at 9 o'clock. You want to look for live coverage throughout the day, starting on Good Morning Indiana, only here on RTV6.
Good luck to everyone going. I'm so excited. It'd be nice to see some Hoosiers up there.
Yeah, and everyone's got, I'm sure, has a great idea that can move forward no matter what.
I think Darla from Noblesville about the books, the one that she has on the Dallas Mavericks. That, because Mr. Cuban owns that, so you're thinking just right. All right, it's steamy day tomorrow, but not anywhere near what we will be by the end of the week. The story will become hazy, hot, and humid conditions with heat index values in the triple digits, and that's really for 2/3 of the country. Only the Pacific Northwest won't be as warm. Temperatures low to mid 90s. Those are the actual highs. You throw in the tropical humidity, and we've got heat index values above 100. Here's your temperature rise. Not as warm tomorrow because of the clouds and scattered thunderstorms. Wednesday, as the thunderstorms end early in the day, we'll warm up to 88, and then there we go. Thursday and Friday pushing the mid 90s by the end of the week. Top of the scale for the humidity will be somewhere between very humid and oppressive. In other words, you'll start to sweat as soon as you walk outside. Temperatures will feel like 107 on Friday, 105 Saturday. Sunday, a few more clouds around that may keep our heat index around 102. Temperature right now is warm. Muncie is at 80, 74 in Bloomington, Kokomo 78, and you can see everybody fitting in the generally upper 70s. Since we don't cool off tonight, temperatures will make their move toward 80 degrees by early afternoon tomorrow. Won't get too much above that. Anytime tomorrow we could have some showers and thunderstorms. Kind of hard to pinpoint the timing and location. They'll be scattered. It won't be a solid area of rain, but between 1 and 4 we see thunderstorms blossom. Then around 7, still some ongoing downpours at times. There's a low risk for severe storms still ongoing at 9 and 11. That's our best shot for rainfall, and I know many of you need some rain. Temperatures low to mid 80s tomorrow. The wind will be noticeable out of the south, about 15 miles per hour with some higher gusts. As you look at Wednesday, rain first part of the day, and then we start to dry out, but we also set the stage for warming up. Wednesday, showers, some thunder showers off to the east as we go into the afternoon. Upper 80s for the high. Temperatures as we get to Thursday through Sunday will peak in the mid 90s, and it's the humidity that will really make it feel uncomfortable. Probably the warmest stretch we've had so far. Thursday, hazy sunshine is back, 92 degrees. Friday, temperatures right in the mid 90s, and that will continue Saturday and Sunday. The only brief relief would come from some scattered showers and thunderstorms, but I think those are few and far between. Every morning of the 7-day forecast, temperatures are in the 70s.
It's going to be warm already to start.
Yes.
No breaks.
We're going to go to Florida to cool off in this weather.
Really.
Wow. It's quite the summer vacation. There were 21 runs scored at Victory Field in tonight's game.
Oh, man.
The problem is a lot of them were on one side of the scoreboard. I don't know. It's not often you get a Heisman Trophy winner playing baseball in Indianapolis either, like ever, but he's here. We'll hear more from Tim Tebow about his baseball future coming up. Pacers finally able to sign their first-round draft pick today. Goga Bitadze putting pen to paper. He'd been held up by visa issues and actually getting to play. He missed out on the Las Vegas Summer League. Looks like, though, he will be ready when training camp rolls around. And a good evening, everyone. The Indians opening a 7-game homestand at Victory Field. The player getting the most attention tonight didn't play until the very end, and he hasn't played a single inning in the majors. But his numbers in AAA have been less than impressive as well. Tim Tebow, though, is not your average minor leaguer. Here's a closer look in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight. The fans turned out early for a look, an autograph, maybe a photo. Dozens turning out more than an hour before first pitch, and not many players who have never been past AAA garner this much attention.
I think it's just part of it, and honestly, I don't make too much of it. Just come and get to talk to a few people a few minutes beforehand, and try to do it in a setting like this, and it's really not too big of a deal for me, and I think that's how we try to keep it.
Tim Tebow is in his 3rd season of pro baseball, now up to AAA in the Mets system. But it's been a massive struggle from the start. Just a .161 batting average. He struck out more than a third of his plate appearances. But it's the drive and determination that made him a football star that keeps him going on the baseball field.
Baseball is a game of failure. It's going to sound weird, but that's one reason why I really want to do it. It's hard. It's not easy. You're really, really good if you succeed 3 out of 10 times. And something I always appreciated about this game is the challenge of it.
Tebow continues to juggle a lot of life outside baseball. He's very active in his charity foundation, recently engaged, and come football season, he'll be back all over TV once again.
It's fun. I mean, that's an incredible challenge, and I think that's one of the things I've enjoyed most about baseball is just that process of that challenge every day.
On this particular night, Tebow isn't in the starting lineup, so no pregame autographs. These fans will have to try again another night, and that could be how it goes for Tebow's baseball future.
You can't let yourself think about it. You have to be now in the present and focus on it, and gotta be able to just continue to follow the process and improve before I really worry about that too.
Tebow did pinch hit in the 9th inning tonight. He walked, scored a run, also flew out to end that inning. He has been the Mets' DH for much of the past month. They're playing National League rules in this series, though, so that spot won't be available. We'll see if he gets to start in the outfield for a game or two before this trip is done. As for the rest of tonight's game, the Mets put a big number on the board early. 5 runs in the 1st inning, a lot more after that, capped by a 7-run 9th inning, 20-1. The final of their 22 hits, Syracuse hit 5 home runs. We'll see if the Indians can get it a little better tomorrow night when they go again at 7:05. The Indiana Fever have a couple of all-stars. Candace Dupree and Erica Wheeler named reserves for next weekend's WNBA showcase. It is the first all-star honor for Wheeler, and you can watch the WNBA all-star game right here on RTV6 next Saturday at 3:30. They're playing that out in Las Vegas. The Fever are back home on Friday night. They face Washington. That game is at 7 o'clock. Time for us to take one more break. We'll be back to wrap up tonight's edition of the News at 11 next.
Grand Cherokee for $269 a month.
Improving diversity and inclusion at workplaces across central Indiana. That's part of the goal of the Indiana Black Expo Business Conference. The conference kicked off today with the annual Mayor's Breakfast at the Indiana Convention Center. The event is part of the IBE Summer Celebration.
This is a tradition. We celebrate 49 years this year, and so 49 years of tradition, culture in our community. But we want to make sure that everyone realizes that every ticket that we have for sale, it's a fundraiser. So it goes back to support the year-round youth and family programs and initiatives in our community.
Amanda and I proudly emceed this morning's breakfast. You can find a full list of summer celebration events by going to the RTV6 app.
Well, you've been awake for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe a midnight snack. You got it. This is like a cruise ship. Tuesday, tomorrow, 70% chance we'll see showers and thunderstorms, diminishing rain chance Wednesday, and temperatures up and away. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right, slice of pizza now? Nachos, maybe?
Sold.
Midnight snack?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us.